Right, for this workout, we are going to be working on strengthening through that lower back. This is suitable for pregnancy, generally at any stage, and also postnatally. So you have got me and the bump with you today. Hi, and we are going to be strengthening through that lower back. So often we get a lot of lower back pain during pregnancy and afterwards, mainly because of like our posture, the fact that we've got extra weight, the fact that we've got boobs that are heavy and it kind of changes how we walk. Lots and lots of different reasons, and obviously once you've had your baby there's a lot of carrying and people tend to push the hips forwards and creates a lot of pressure through that lower back. So this is really nice just for a little bit of stretching through that lower back and also strengthening. We are going to do a minute of each exercise with a little 15-second break in between, and we've only got 4 exercises. So we're just going to do 2 rounds of this. It's short, it's sweet, shouldn't take you too long to do. Okay, so for the lower back, we are not just going to solely work on the lower back. We are also going to work on the bits around it to support it. So there's going to be a little bit of core and there's going to be a little bit of glute work in there as well. Because after all, these muscles just don't work in isolation. Your lower back is never going to be like, the muscles there are never going to be the only muscles that are kind of working when they're doing things. You're also going to get other muscles getting involved. So we want to work on supporting those muscles. And often during pregnancy, we lose a lot of glute strength. I don't know if you've noticed, your bum might have got a bit flatter or it might have disappeared entirely. And as soon as that happens, then you've got a lot more pressure through the lower back. So building up glutes is a good thing. First thing we are going to do, we're just going to come onto all fours. We want to make sure that shoulders are stacked over those knees and hips are over, oh my goodness. You're going to have the shoulders over the hands and the hips over the knees. Okay, baby brain obviously. And from here we're going to take it into all fours pelvic tilt. So this isn't a big movement. You'll obviously know your cat-cow, where it's a deep breath in, that bum is sent backwards, and you breathe out and you really arch up through the back. This is a lot smaller, okay? So we're just going to take a deep breath in. We're not trying to force anything. And as you breathe out, it's just a very gentle movement through the pelvis. So think about breathing out as you draw the bottom of the ribs down towards the top of the hips. Breathing in as you release. We have a minute. That starts now. The buzzer has gone. So it's a really, really gentle kind of movement. And for this one, there's less movement through the upper back and it's more through the lower portion. So it can feel really nice. You often get stuck in this position when we're standing, with a little bit of an arch through the back, and just drawing and tucking that pelvis under can feel like a really nice stretch. Got 20 seconds left. Keep it up. You can also do this on standing, you can do this on lying in bed, although they do advise that after 16 weeks you don't spend too much time if you're pregnant lying on your back. Oh, I miss lying on my back. Now 3, 2 and 1. 15-second break. I'm going to take you through the next exercise. For this one we're going to take it through our bird dog. So for our bird dog, it's opposite arm and opposite leg come out, and we're just going to take it off the ground, take it back down, and we change over to the other side. Now, see how this goes. Your minute has started. You want to try and keep those hips as steady as possible. If you can, just take a little bit down to see if there is any doming or if your tummy muscles are coming up into a point. If you're suffering from pelvic girdle pain, this might feel a little bit uncomfortable through the pelvis, and if that's the case, just do the arms instead. So what this is working is the core and also the back. So your back and your core work really nicely together during this exercise. And by taking it into that full bird dog, you're actually working sort of opposite sides of the back at the same time. And it can be really good just for strengthening through. But if that doesn't work for you, arms are absolutely fine. So I'm going to pause the break for now because we're going to take it into hip thrusts. I feel like hip thrust needs some explanation. You can come down onto the back of your sofa if you like, or you can come into a corner if you have a corner. I'll show you what it's like on the back, but you want to have roughly the kind of like shoulder blades on the back. Hands can come out. Don't want to disturb the cats. You're going to keep the head up nice and long. You're going to press it through the heels, and we're going to like draw the hips up towards the ceiling and back down again. So what we're looking to do is to try and keep it nice and long and a nice straight line between the hips all the way up towards the head. So there's no kind of dipping this way or that way. And we're going to come up and down. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to move into the corner because I find it more comfortable. Don't know why, I just like it. So push through those heels. Let's get ready. Coming all the way up and back down. You can have the hands behind the head if you feel like that is easiest. As we're doing this exercise, what often happens is that as you come up, those knees come out. Try and keep a little bit of tension between the legs so there's no splaying of the knees outwards. This is a great one for working through the legs, for working through the glutes, and also through the lower back. Last 20 seconds. Also, if you're pregnant, just watch out for any kind of exercises that bring on breath and hips, which are your pretend contractions, or your practice contractions, should I say. Good, come all the way down, and we're going to lie on your side. We're going to take it into clams. So the heels are going to be together. Oh, this baby's really moving around. Heels are going to come together, and you're going to take the knees away from each other and back down. So think about breathing out. Breathing in as those knees come back down. Yeah, it was really weird when I was doing those hip thrusts. It kind of felt like, I don't know, it's like clawing to get out. So for this one, you can have your hand in front of you, just to give you a little bit of extra stability. And the hips are going to be stacked over one another. Good. So some of you might be able to get your knee all the way up. Depends on what your hips are like. For me, this is as much as I can get them, and that is good enough. So during the next round, this is the last exercise in this round, we'll change it over and take it to the other side. Got last 3, 2, and 1. 15-second break. Let's come onto our front. Take it nice and slowly. No rush. And we're going to come back into those pelvic tilts. So we're going to come down onto all fours. Press the ground away. And it's just that little movement. If this feels better for you standing up, do this one standing up. Most importantly, keep breathing. Less than 30 seconds to go. It's also a good one for the shoulders. Even just being on all fours can work through those shoulders. And we've got last 3, 2, and 1. If you want to stretch out through the wrists, just place the back of the hands on the ground and take a little lean backwards. That can be a really, really nice stretch. Okay, let's get back into it. We have our bird dog. So coming onto all fours, we're going to try and find our neutral spine. Opposite arm and opposite leg comes away from each other. Nice and long, keep that spine nice and long. Try not to drop the head down. So I'm running out of space here. I'd love to say I think I've grown, but I don't think that's true. And remember, this feels like it's too much through the pelvis. Make sure you've got a nice solid base. Take the arms up and down. So this means that you're working through the core in this instance, definitely abdominal muscles and also that lower back. But make the exercise your exercise. Do what feels right for you. And take a break. We're taking it into those hip thrusts. I also feel like me doing it in the corner means that you have a better angle. Not looking straight up the fanny. Hope you appreciate that. Okay, hands behind the head or wherever they feel most comfortable. Press through those heels. Come all the way up, squeeze through those glutes and back down again. So these are great ones to do on the floor as well, but as I said before, you kind of want to avoid spending prolonged amount of time lying on your back after 16 weeks. Make sure you keep breathing. Yeah, this bump does not like this exercise. Someone was trying to describe, or she asked me how to describe how it felt, and quite frankly it just felt like, I don't know, like someone doing the washing up in your belly. Okay, so the last exercise, we're going to come up, we're going to lie down to our side. We've got those clams again, so squeeze those heels together, hips are stacked over one another, hand can come down here for support, and we're going to open those knees and gently close them. So you should feel it up through the glutes. Again, we're using and working these glutes because they're going to help support that lower back. And having a nice strong lower back that you can trust in, especially after you've had your baby, can be really helpful. Obviously good movement patterns as well really help, so think about, and you can start thinking about that now. If you're picking things up off the ground, try not to round your back. Try and keep that back nice and long. You can, if there's something right on the ground, you can look at lunging into it or coming down into a deep squat. But yeah, when you're picking up heavy weights especially, and you will be picking up babies soon, just try and do what you can to make sure you are using your back muscles and not rounding through the spine. Good stuff. We are done. Let me stop that timer. Come up into a bit of a kneeling position and just stretch it out a little bit. Pull those shoulders back, push the chest out, and we can take it into a bit of a kneeling cat-cow just to help stretch things out. And a little bit of side wiggle as well. That feels good. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you've got any questions. Well done.